Don't look under the internet.
Okay, hold on. I fucked up. This is my fault. The reason I haven't been talking for the last 30 seconds.
For you.
need to start
just
over
fucked
for
up
you.
and deleted like the first whole section of this on my end. So
If we fuck it up.
yeah.
You know what? Here's the fun part.
Hey, is
This
it
the intro
not
now
DLUTI
again.
if something doesn't get
The
deleted?
intro
at some
round
point?
2.
I feel like I'm part of the
Hello,
club.
everyone. Welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet.
Oh, I haven't missed this at all.
It's the podcast where we podcast about podcasts.
Yeah. And then we delete the podcast and
That's
we redo it.
our boy Matt/Moot.
Yeah, I deleted the podcast.
Hey,
It's a dungle.
you wouldn't be the first one.
Hi, Dungle.
Hello, I'm here.
And,
I am
Yeah.
here.
And I'm Eliza Thornberry. I can talk to animals.
I would do the thing again, but thank you. Thank you.
I sound like the fucking demon thing from Smiling Friends when he's in hell. And it's like, and he's like, if you do that again, I'm going to punch you. I swear to God.
I think I watched like 2 episodes of that.
You also
I
kind of
fucking
sounded like the
love
Tasmanian
Smiling
devil.
Friends. It's so funny. And that's Jason. Hi, it's me again. My audio file it was deleted before, but it's not now. I'm back.
Why?
Jason, you
why
sound
are
different.
you sort of British?
I took a trip over across the pond, and it came back like this.
He got on a boat. and-
Yeah,
He caught the Brit. yeah.
No, Jason is on a cruise in this economy.
Damn, we're just
I
nailing
know
it.
we're nailing it. Yeah, I finally am feeling much better. The COVID is gone from my system, and Doug's allowed in my house again. So we're 75% of us are here again. Woo!
All right, now that we nailed all those
That's
things that we
passing.
said already.
That's what I said last time.
Now that we nailed that,
Yeah.
I can get to the thing that I've been wanting to nail for a little bit now. Are we ready?
Is it me?
DLUTI.
Oh,
Housekeeping. I haven't done this in a minute, so I just want to give a quick sugary shout out to some of these people.
shadiggity shout.
Peeps. Yeah,
While he does this, I'm going to partake in
go for it. We got 2 new guys here.
alcohol.
We got our boy. We got Dr. B. What's the B stand for?
Bitches.
Dr. Bitches.
Dr.
Hella.
Bitches.
And then we also have Adam Hallmark. Adam, do you watch the channel often?
Zing,
Got
bro.
him, dude. I fucking got him, dude. And thus concludes the patrons. Thank you, Dr. B. Thank you, Adam. You guys are swell. You are very beautiful
Good job.
people, and we appreciate the support. Yeah, you did something
with
with
your
You gave
life.
us money. If you want to give us money, go to patreon.com/DLUTIPod. You can give us something, or
That's it.
Or-
That's it for the night, folks.
you could give us nothing. Weird how that works.
Yeah. Do something with your life.
You be like Dr. Bitches.
New motto: Be like Dr. Bitches.
Give us
Yeah,
money,
dude,
get bitches.
These last couple days, have been so crazy for me.
Where are you going with this?
It's been a crazy time. It's almost like like a crazily built home.
That's funny that you mentioned that because I was watching Scooby Doo the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they drive a van, I guess, called the Mystery Machine.
This is kind of like that.
Am I butchering the bird scooter
that much?
just
No,
as
no.
much as you usually
Speaking
do? Or
Speaking of Scooby Doo, they be running through doorways a lot
they
in
do?
those houses.
It
You
do
could
be like
probably
that.
Do that in our topic.
Can you tell me Scooby Doo's
There's a
real
lot
name?
of them.
And is Scoobert?
Scoobert
Doobert Doo?
I don't think that's true, but
Hubert Duberson.
We're talking today. Oh, I'm gonna shoot my shot
oh my god,
on
okay,
this bird scooter.
Oh,
Okay,
all right,
get it?
All right.
Shoot my shot.
yep.
Shoot. Shot.
Yep.
We're talking about the Winchester Mystery House. Ooh. It's made by a crazy lady.
That it is.
So I'm
Crazy lady.
I feel like the Winchester Mystery House is something that most people know about, but
To
it's
some
such
degree,
a
yeah.
fun topic to talk about.
When you deep dive it or like really get into its history, it's actually like way more interesting than I realized. Actually,
Yeah, right. It's very fun.
Yeah, it actually is. When you told me what we were doing, I was like, it's just a house.
Yeah.
But then, yeah,
Mhm.
when I actually like watched the documentary,
right?
Yeah,
Right. A lot of our information is like pretty much based off of like there's like a handful of pretty good documentaries. If you go on YouTube, you can find a bunch of good videos
Yeah, there's
as well.
the Unexplained with William Shatner.
Yeah, he kills it. Fucking
And,
kills it.
dude, that show, never even heard of it before.
It
Pretty
slaps.
fucking interesting,
Right?
I was thrown into it. I
Oh
loved
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's good.
It's that.
I mean, I'll listen to William Shatner shat all over my ear holes.
I would-
anytime.
I'd suck him
Shatner,
off.
I hardly know her.
Oh, overshadowed me saying I'd suck him off. That's fine.
I'd suck him. So I would say so. The Winchester family. Let's go into them. Just a smidge.
Let's backtrack a little bit.
So
right?
we have our boy William Wirt Winchester, which I'm sure
what
a lot of
fucking
you
terrible middle name.
Wirt. Yeah.
Hey, Wirt.
Oh,
Wort. It's the worst middle name I've ever heard.
we can just end the show on that one, can't we? When I hear the name, and everyone's heard of the Winchester name, not only just from fucking Supernatural, which I wonder if that's the connection with season 1 where they use a gun to kill a demon.
That's not in the first season.
Is not the Yellow Eyed Demon? I thought that's how they finished the first season off.
I mean, kind of sort like it leads up to it. I don't think it's the first season. I don't know. I haven't watched. I haven't rewatched.
Oh, you know
it
what?
in a
I think it's
while
like
now
season
that
2 or
I think
3.
I think
Yeah.
I think that sounds
Anyway.
about right.
But the Winchester, William Winchester, is the guy that created the Winchester rifle. That kind of it became like the rifle of the West.
Yeah,
That was the
won
one
the
that-
West.
Yeah, it won the West. It was like the go-to rifle because before you had the fucking muskets that you can shoot off one round. It was not accurate at all. And then you had to like fucking shove a pipe down it, fill it up with gunpowder. You had to put the bullet in and fucking shove a pipe down it again. You had to go through all this shit. The term Minutemen,
They were
was the whole
basically
minute.
piping it down quite a bit out there.
Yes, they were right in that barrel.
The bussy.
The bussy, the gunsy, the blender
The
bussy.
blunder bussy.
Oh my god.
But yeah, these guns just weren't effective because the fact that they had like the like fastest people to like in reloading were called Minutemen, and that was your fastest dude, and it still took him a full minute to load one bullet. That's not good
That's what they call me when I stick it in the blender bussy.
Zinger.
on yourself.
Can you imagine like being out and like
Hope you ain't shooting blanks.
can you imagine doing some war and you're just out there like reloading? Everybody's just kind of standing around like, yeah, we all shot a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Like,
give us a
everyone's just
minute.
like-
But like this one, instead of just shooting one bullet at a time, it could hold 15 rounds.
Ooh.
And it was a lot more accurate. All in all, great gun. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
10 out of 10 would kill someone with it.
Yeah. So it definitely, you can see why it became the gun to have. But a woman named Sarah married into the Winchester family. She married William Winchester.
William.
Yes. They had a bit of a bad time. They bought a little home for themselves. They had a child. That child died. They had a child named Annie. That kid died, and it died of like a withering disease. I don't remember what the disease is called, but it like the kid literally withered away, like just became bones.
Yeah, it was I forget what it was called exactly, but yeah, it literally just like the body just like literally disintegrates on itself.
That's fucked up. And this kid was like a baby, like it was a small ass kid.
Neat.
It was weeks old.
Yeah. And soon after that, I think it was pretty soon after the kid died, William Winchester died of tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
Yeah. So
tuberculosis.
this lady is just having a bad time. I feel really bad for Sarah Winchester. Because not only did you lose a kid, you also lost your husband. Like she is alone in the world now. That sucks.
But
Yeah.
Straight
To
up
be
not having a
fair,
good time.
she inherited a fucking dickload of money.
She did. She inherited was like $600 million in today's.
Yeah, it was 20 million in her time. and that's equivalent to about 576 now.
she was loaded. But it was
almost makes you wonder if it wasn't an accident.
She injected him with TB. She was like, "Fuck you, William Wirt Winchester."
so after
She slowly sanded
away at it with like sandpaper.
Yeah, just whenever he went to bed, she would just like fucking go at it.
This will teach that punk ass. But it was after like her kid and William Winchester died that she went to see a medium. Apparently that was a thing back in the day. And this is back in the day. This is like 1800s. I believe all this was like roughly around like 1880, I want to say something like that. A good portion of all of this
he died in 1881, so
yeah, and that's when a lot of the history and the story of the Winchester Mystery House started to come to fruition. But apparently back in the day, like mediums were a big thing. Like that was just like,
yeah,
that was a fucking career move back then, was being a medium.
Even as like religious as people were, like people were literally like they would go seek out a medium to like be like, what do I do? Like tell me what to do here.
Yeah. So she saw this medium. She bought a mansion, and
you're butchering it.
I'm sorry. Well, I don't want to. I'm trying not to like step on something that you guys.
Would you like me
about.
to talk about the
Go
house?
for it, because you're going into it a little bit anyway here. So I'll end it there. She sees a medium, and then we go from there.
So this,
Thank you.
this
Perfect
Boston
transition.
medium, basically, supposedly channels the spirit of her late husband, and said that she should leave her home in New Haven, which is where they were living at the time when all this shitty shit happened, and that she should travel west.
Yeah, she had a nice little ranch.
Little ranch home. Just a little ranch with some carrots.
Just a little ranch.
Little carrots and celery.
You're
ranch.
You're
carrots.
borderlining Kermit the Frog right now.
Guys, I don't even know. So she travels west, where she's pretty much told that she needs to continuously keep building onto the home that she buys for herself, and to do this because of the deaths that the Winchester Rifle Company has caused. And so I think we already mentioned this a little bit, but she was receiving 50% ownership in that company after her husband died, and she was able to start building this home just continuously because she was roughly getting $1,000 a day, which is like $28,000 a day now.
Yeah.
She was just fucking hiring people out the ass.
Yeah, I think the medium was like, if you don't keep building, you're gonna die.
The spirits will get you pretty much.
Yeah.
So the reasoning is you caused a lot of deaths to make
Yeah,
your house bigger?
the medium like told her like, or she got like paranoid. I don't remember if the medium actually told her, but she thought like the spirits of everyone that Winchester gun has killed was haunting her.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Okay. So she needed.
well,
enough
that's
space.
where we get in. That's where we
She
get
has
into
a
the
fucking-
house. Actually,
She has a fucking a brothel full of ghosts.
yeah, right. Come fuck a ghost. Ghostbusters 5.
Go Buster 5, the fucking
Ghost busted.
ghost busting.
Give me that
Ooh-wee.
ectoplasm, Daddy.
But yeah, so she leaves New Haven and she heads for California. She may have, wanted a change of setting, but let's be real. She was going through a lengthy depression, and I think this medium hit it on the head with her and basically kind of guided her into this notion. So, however, others maintain that she believes she must move west, continuously build, and one of the things that was actually said from the medium is that the sound of the construction would keep at bay the spirits of those who had fallen.
Yeah, so she's like, yeah, constantly have construction dudes all the time.
Yep. So,
And she like staggered construction crews.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they're working all night, and they would have no idea what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I'll get into that in a little bit, actually. So, in 1886, she purchases a farmhouse in Santa Clara Valley and begins building this mansion. Legend has it that the carpenters were hired and worked on the house literally day and night. And it got to about a point where it was about 7 stories tall.
Yeah.
Now, the house contains numerous oddities, doors and stairs that go nowhere, windows overlooking other rooms, and stairs with oddly sized risers. pretty much everything about the house had no rhyme or reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 1906, an earthquake ends up almost leveling all of like the tallest portions of this whole mansion. I think it went from about 7 stories down to 4. And this is where she now decides that instead of building up, she's going to start building out. So she starts adding new rooms and adding new rooms and adding new rooms and just doing the same shit continuously. There are roughly 161 rooms, 40 bedrooms, 2 ballrooms, 1 completed and 1 unfinished, as well as 47 fireplaces and over 10,000 panes of glass. There's 17 chimneys with a possible 2 others. There's 2 different basement levels, 3 elevators, and this place is about 162 acres at one point. So, that's fucking
huge.
nuts. Like, actually nuts.
Huge.
Like, there's no reason for that.
A bit excessive, Sarah.
Yeah.
But
I think she's compensating
Kind of
for
a lot.
something.
I don't know if
yeah,
anybody told her that.
so that's what she was doing, for the most part. But
That's what she was up to.
Matt, what do you got about the house? What do you got going on?
In addition to the things that you already said, the house took about 38 years to build. So like this wasn't just like a couple year process. Like you said, people were working around the clock for 38
Yeah, that's
whole years
wild.
making this happen. And you already mentioned the hallways and the staircases that just basically don't go anywhere. The thing about the house though is it wasn't just huge. It was also elaborately decorated. So most of the house is done in a Victorian style, but there's just like incredibly lavish decoration and stuff, including like at one point she got so tired of dusting the corners of the stairs where dirt would get trapped that she like had these little gold things manufactured that they like stuck in the corners of the stairs so that dirt wouldn't collect inside there. And then there was also stuff like Asian decorations in certain rooms of the house, and then incredibly elaborate stained glass windows that she had custom made. So it wasn't just quantity, it was quality as well. She also had a bunch of technology and like lavish amenities installed in the house, including buttons that were tied to an electronic system that would tell her servants like what room in the house she was in and that she needed help. So it would like ring a buzzer and then like pop a little number up on this like card thing to tell them where to go find her. There's also incredibly elaborate plumbing, including like a needle shower, I guess is what they called it, where it was a shower that she could stand in and it would like shoot water all over her body instead of just coming out the top. And at the time, it was uncommon to even have a shower
You're
at all.
still going
period.
through yellow
But
fever.
She had like...
Can you imagine just being so rich that you're just like, I'm going to just uproot technology real quick here and just like be doing it first?
Yeah, she was super into like the sciences and everything at the time.
Yeah, that was like part of her whole thing was like she constantly innovated. There was even like there's a system of tubes in the house where she could talk into the tubes downstairs and then the sound would come out of the tube like higher up in the house so that people could talk back and forth to her.
I would have literally been like, hey Bill, can you come to the tube real quick? And then I would have just like ripped straight ass into the tube and been like, you smell that, bitch? And just like ran to the next room.
Got him. There's also a room with 3 fireplaces that she would shut all the doors in and then light all the fireplaces so that it would be like a makeshift sauna. There's 3 elevators and a bunch of staircases with very short steps. So these were designed that as she got older and it got harder for her to move around, the stairs were only like a couple inches tall and they would just like go down a little bit at a time so that she could move around easier. There's also a room called the Witch's Cap, which is an oddly shaped room at the top of the house where Sarah used to hang out, and it's reported today to be a hotspot for paranormal activity.
Ooh. Touch me, ghost daddy.
Ooh, spooky. Spooky. There's trap doors underneath the fireplaces that she could pull, and the ashes would fall down a chute into the basement so that the servants could throw it away. There's 2 conservatories that she could garden in without going outside. There's a staircase that goes down 7 steps and then up 11.
I like the 7
for no
up
reason.
better.
Yeah, there's a staircase that goes into 7 up. There's a seance room, and as Mike mentioned, she was into spiritualism and stuff, so this is where she would come talk to her dead husband. And there was also apparently a bell in this room that she would ring at midnight and 2 a.m. every night, and nobody knows why, but apparently she was trying to communicate.
That's her
with
cum bell.
something.
I'll let y'all decide what that is. I don't need to go into it.
It's for the ghost
yeah.
brothel, obviously.
Every time a ghost comes, a
Yeah.
demon gets a horn.
Hear ye, hear ye. There's a door to nowhere that just goes straight outside the house. And then, in addition to that door, there's a door inside that opens up into the kitchen, except
So
it's
you
on the
just
second
fall.
floor and not the first floor where the kitchen is. And yeah, there's no floors. So if you walk out it,
This is
you
one
just fall
place
into
I
the kitchen.
don't want to be when I'm like wasted.
I walked up the stairs and then there's no door.
I walked up the stairs, I opened a door, and then I was in the kitchen. But
What's with all the tubes?
I farted in one of those tubes. You smell that?
Or like in a monster movie where you're like trying to run away from something, and then you're like, go through here, and then everybody falls out, and that's the end of the movie.
Everybody dies.
That's how I would end that movie. Yeah. This is actually part of one of my favorite parts. You mentioned the ballrooms, and the completed ballroom is a huge ballroom, and it only hosted a single party where all of the servants made like an incredibly elaborate meal, and they put it out on a buffet, and they even hired entertainment to come entertain and like play music and stuff at the ball, and she was the only guest.
Guys, I got this incredible gig. It's at the Winchester House. Yeah, the Winchesters. Oh my God, let's go play. Just one lady. Bravo, bravo.
Apparently nobody told. Apparently nobody told the band either.
What the fuck is
And
up,
so,
Winchester House?
They just yeah. What the fuck is up, tennies? Have you ever seen that? Okay. Yeah. Apparently, it made them so uncomfortable they just left and like.
I don't blame
them. And then people used to come to the house to try to get a glimpse of Sarah, or like actually see the house, and that irritated her. So she had a massive garden wall built around the entire property so that nobody could get in or see the house.
Yeah, she's a very paranoid woman.
Yeah.
She was a shut-in for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, she's... I mean, after all the shit that she went through, I think that would...
Well, it's weird because she's like super like into like the sciences, but she's also super like superstitious and into the paranormal. Like it's weird how you can do both. You know what I mean? Because like...
Yeah. I think that was like part of the thing back then, though, right? Like with spiritualism.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, I mean, like to the point where like she's got all this stuff going on in her home, like electricity and all that stuff. But she's still ringing the bell at 2 a.m. trying to talk to her dead husband. And she the cameras thing. She was one of the believers that like a camera will steal your soul, so she never let people take her picture. Yep. There's only one picture of this woman in existence.
Oh yeah.
So it's wild.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, eccentric is definitely the word.
Like
unique,
1,000%.
Yeah, she's just unique.
She's a nice lady.
Bless her heart. That's pretty much all I have.
All
for the
you
house
have for the house.
itself.
You just listed off all the weird ass antics that this house is.
I mean, there's so many rooms. Like, there's no way we could. You know.
I mean, to this day, they even say that they're still discovering new rooms, which I don't believe, but that's what some of the people that work there are saying.
Yeah. Until a couple of years ago, there were thoughts like they thought there was 160 rooms, and then they discovered 161st, which was like a boarded up section of the attic that had some furniture in it that had been boarded up, I guess, since like almost 10 years before the house. Like, before she died.
She also before she eventually ends up passing away or whatever, but she like boarded up her whole room and shit.
Oh yeah.
and they like I don't remember how recent it was, but they just like recently, like within the past like 10, 20 years or something like that, like opened the room up, and like found some weird shit in there, and didn't really go anywhere, but like I don't know, there was like a safe or something, I don't know, but either way,
We found this weird book called the Necronomicon. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a very weird book.
it looks like a cookbook.
Call Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. So
Gremlin in the Discord just said, let's do
God,
acid
fuck
and go
that.
there. I'm down.
I know I just said I don't want to be drunk there, but I'll go there and get drunk. We'll see how that works out. Just saying.
I know Moot mentioned the spooky spirits a little bit about the place.
So I do have a little bit on that. When you look up like the actual hauntings and like the like what happens in the house, a lot of it's really like vague. There is one specific spirit that's said to be there, and it's like a groundskeeper. His name is Clyde.
Make way for Willie.
But so a lot of the ghosts in the house are said to be confused and wandering the halls, unable to make their way through this crazy labyrinth that she
did that
built
on purpose.
Exactly.
right?
So she did this on purpose so that they couldn't catch up to her, essentially.
Which doesn't make sense to me because can't ghosts go through walls?
Yeah, but there's also like so in this setting specifically, they think of ghosts as like leftover wandering spirits that are like haven't moved on, right? So they're kind of repeating the actions that they would do in like their everyday lives. And this is called
Isn't that like a memory or something like that?
it's residual hauntings.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's like a scene. It's like
Yeah.
it
Zach
just keeps
Bagans was talking
playing.
about. It's like a scene from a movie, kind of, where they just do the same thing over and over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Zach Bagans mentions how that happens in the Stanley Hotel in the ballroom.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that on my tour there too.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting concept for sure. Mostly like the ghosts that are reportedly like seen, like I said, are like the staff members that haven't like passed on, workers that haven't passed on, just anyone that had worked on the house, worked there, but also damn it, Scruffy, get out of here.
Scruffy here, yeah. Scruffy just don't care.
One of the funny things that I actually saw was that a lot of like the people that go on the tours of the house, which is available now, they were like when they get close to Sarah's room, because that's a new addition to the tour, they hear these like really big sighs. Like they can hear a woman sighing almost.
Like she's irritated, like
that she's pissed that they opened her room that she sealed off. And now
did this
all
on
these
purpose.
tourists are fucking dicking around in her room, you know, touching shit and
I swear
fucking
to God,
coughing
if they
on things.
Ring my 2 a.m. bell outside of 2 a.m. I'm gonna lose it.
Exactly. The ghost didn't come. She's actually pissed. Anyways, but yeah, so they reportedly hear sighs that they think are from Sarah herself.
I wonder if someone sets up like a recording device or something, if you would hear a bell at 2 a.m.
That would be kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
I actually have something on that at the end of this, but so a number of employees and a few visitors claim to have crossed paths with Clyde, the one I mentioned earlier. A mustached man, sometimes seen pushing a wheelbarrow in the basement or trying to repair the fireplace in the ballroom. It's definitely Scruffy. He's been described to management roughly like this. We really like the actor who was repairing, in quotes, the ballroom fireplace, wearing white overalls and a Victorian boater hat. And to their surprise, they don't have a groundskeeper or anyone working on any of the stuff in the house. So all the tour guides are like, the fuck are you talking about?
That's homeless Joe.
And this is actually where that residual...
It's a squatter.
Yeah.
Squatters' rights.
Oh, you bitches.
It's California.
But that's kind of where that whole residual haunting thing comes into play. So they're just stuck on repeat, basically. So who knows? I'm not sure how... There was like no real reason that the ghost's name is Clyde. I think someone was just like, yeah, it's a fucking Clyde
He
for
looks
sure.
like a Clyde.
But the biggest thing in the house is that people claim to see shadow figures moving throughout the house, going upstairs, around corners, this and that. That like all the current workers there are like shadow people. Like it's all shadow people. Like that's what they be seeing in there. And I wonder if those shadow people are the people who died to the Winchester rifles. I don't know for sure. But so one thing I found kind of funny and kind of like a little like backwards as far as where we're trying to go with this, right? Most of the ghost hunting teams that have actually gone into the houses haven't found shit. Like even Zach Baggins went and like nothing really like crazy happened.
I touch on something else too. I'm gonna at the end here.
I'll leave it at that then. But other than that, like there's a lot of like ghost hunting groups that are like there's nothing going on here. Like there ain't shit. So that's.
I mean, there's a lot of ground to cover though.
Exactly. Like pick a good room, split up, spend the night, see what happens. Yeah.
I do wonder if it's one of those things where like we've talked about it before, but like I don't know if ghosts are real or not. Right now, I'm more on the verge of they're not real, only because I haven't experienced one. And it's so easy to trick your brain into thinking you've seen a ghost. Because, like, for example, if you go to like Zach Bagan's museum, you know, they do it on purpose. They'll play like a low decimal noise to like keep your body on edge. They'll have like vents that you can't see pushing out cold air so you feel something. So it's all this trickery that fucks with your head.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like I feel like you going to somewhere like the Winchester Mystery House with the expectation of seeing or feeling a ghost, you're going to because you want to.
Right.
I mean, that happened at the fucking when I went to the Stanley Hotel. Like I was in the vortex hallway and they had us do the fucking like the pencils against each other and they started moving, but it was because I have a fucking tremor and so I'm shaking the fucking pencil. But everyone else is like, "Whoa, ghosts, whoa!" And I'm like, "No, I'm doing this like on accident. This is on me." But yeah, I'm like a dowsing rod for ghosts.
Right. It's funny. So kind of off topic here, but I don't know if I told you this story or not yet, but this was actually like a couple of weeks ago, maybe like a month back. I'm in the kitchen in my house. Now, just a little like pre-context to this. When we moved in, we found this really old ring that has like the portrait of a man on it, and it was really bizarre.
This is how most horror movies start that are ghost ones.
Yeah.
Well, here's the fucked up part about everything. So my roommates at the time decided that after we found the ring, I left the house for some reason. They were going to hide it in my room.
Oh no!
And I've never found
That's
it.
a dick move.
Never found it.
It's still there
somewhere in my room. This ring exists. But that being said, me and my girlfriend, like we always constantly are seeing like shadows in the house and like weird things. Like I swear, like we hang out in the living room a lot, and I'll be like watching TV or something, and I'm like constantly seeing shit happening in the kitchen, and like it's just like out of the corner of my eye and the peripherals, you know. But so flash forward a little bit, I was doing the dishes a couple weeks back, and I get off work an hour earlier than Alyssa does. So I'm doing the dishes. I swear I hear her come upstairs, and I'm like, okay, it's just her. I'm sitting there doing the dishes, and then I feel a tug at the back of my shirt, and I'm like, I like look behind me, no one there. Alyssa's not upstairs. No one's there. I was just like, I'm gonna just keep doing the dishes because I'm not going to acknowledge this.
Humpty hum.
Yeah,
scrub,
that's a big
scrub,
no.
scrub.
So I just kept doing my thing, and I was like, nope.
You feel the tug is turned back. Oh, weird weather we're having today.
How
It's
about
just the growth on your back becoming sentient.
Yeah.
bro? I told you not to tell anyone about that.
My bad. Well,
But that being said, there are a lot of like weird like things in the house that aren't quite like physical things, but more of like some like symbology in the house.
Yeah. She definitely was like, again, like kind of like a into the sciences and into I guess I wouldn't call it the supernatural, but like she was super into like numerology and symbology. The number 13 can be seen around the house in almost every room in some way, shape, or form. Whether a room will have, 13 panes of glass, or there'll be 13 like wall panels, or The windows will have like, because they're all stained glass, they'll have a design on them with like 13 suns or something of that matter, or the suns you see might have like 16 or 13 like rings around rays on them. The number 13 can be found quite literally in just about every room. It's very weird.
Isn't 13 supposed to be unlucky though?
It is, which is no.
Sounds like she's just bringing shit upon herself.
Yeah. She's doing this to herself.
13's my favorite number though.
Yeah, I don't think they ever explained. I don't think they ever got an answer why it's the number 13 everywhere. But it's just about everywhere. There's 13, I think 13 bathrooms in the house. I think there's like 13 chandeliers or something like that. It's very weird how that number.
I know a lot of the windows had 13 panes in it and stuff like that. You'd see like stairs that had like 13 like what am I trying to call them?
The paneling, yeah,
like the wood.
Yeah. I literally,
I don't know.
I literally just mentioned both those things, and then you're like, yeah, it's also got the panes. Of
Good thing I was paying attention.
But yeah, it's everywhere.
Isn't there like an opposite thing in some older houses where there's like a 14th step and it's really small? Just because like, they were like, fuck, we got 13 steps on this staircase.
Yeah, something like that. And a lot of hotels don't have a 13th floor.
I was going to say
they'll actually skip it entirely, which is weird. That's why a lot of people were very surprised because of how superstitious the company Apple is. Steve Jobs was incredibly superstitious. So everyone was like shocked they dropped an iPhone 13 because Steve Jobs was like, we're never doing that. That's an unlucky number. And they did it anyway. Well, which is why he's dead.
Maybe he's only a little stitious.
He's just a little stitious. I'm not superstitious.
Wow, wow, wee, wah.
You stole my bit. I don't remember the last thing we said, so I'm just going to say it again. We mentioned the 13 number. I think that's where we kind of left off.
Yep. I think we're passing along the
You know what we can do real quick since we just had a minor break? What are you drinking? What are you thinking? There's a bottle here and it's empty. Yeah. Thank you, Moot. That's timed perfectly. Doug brought 4 roses.
It's cheaper than Maker's Mark, and it tastes about the same.
And I am nursing the shit out of it because
he's dog and hair.
Hair of the dog.
Dog and hair.
I am thoroughly hungover from yesterday, and got to be up at 5 in the morning tomorrow. So this is it for me. Doug don't care.
Very nice.
I don't care, Mike.
Is that what Doug's also drinking?
Yes, Doug brought the bowl.
I brought the bottle.
So yeah, everybody, message us on anything and tell us what you were drinking. Anyway, back to the show, your regular scheduled programming. So, not only is the number everywhere, but she's like super into like the sun. If you look at like a bunch of the stained windows, the gate itself to like the entranceway of the house has a bunch of suns on it. She's super into like the Zodiac stuff. The sun is like right in the middle of all the houses of the Zodiac. The sun, I don't specifically remember what it symbolizes, but I think it basically describes like an overall like attitude and a spirit of a person.
Well, I guess if you're talking like sun, moon, rising,
yeah, it's like ego and pride or something like that.
I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, you have like everyone has like 3 plus signs actually like going into the Zodiac shit, but I don't want to get into it.
I work with a lady
that's all
that's
I'm
like
saying.
Hella into Zodiac stuff, and the first thing she said to me when I met her, she's like, "Hey, what's your sign?" Like a Cancer, and she's like, "Ugh, Cancer, really?"
I was at the liquor store the other day, and I was getting something, and as I was checking out, there was this new girl there who I had never seen before, and she just suddenly started talking about how the moon was going to be like in a good spot tonight, and that we needed to go outside and like dance or something.
Soak up
it was,
the
it was a
moon's
really
rays.
yeah, it was a really
She told you
strange.
you needed to go outside and dance.
Yeah,
She basically
Well,
told you to touch grass.
I think I think the conversation was more like, "How's your day going? What are you doing this evening?" or something like that. And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go outside and like dance because the moon's gonna be in a good position or something like that."
That's
and I was
weird.
Like, that's an interesting thing to just thrust onto somebody at the checkout. But
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
trying to fuck you, bro.
she was inviting me to the ritual.
Yeah, she was either A, trying to fuck you, or B, trying to sacrifice you. It's one of the two.
Yeah, you can't be trusting
both.
those bitches
Or
during this season.
Yeah, where this is the wild time. The moon's in retrograde now, apparently.
All them witches and shit.
Hell yeah, it is almost that time.
I was getting invited to the snoo.
But yeah, a bunch of like the Zodiac stuff with the suns. On the suns, I think like the ones on the gates specifically, I think there are 16 rays coming off of the sun. And there's 2 suns like that, which apparently helps coordinate towards the day of the death of William Shakespeare.
I thought it was 10.
16.
16.
16.
6.
Because he was in the 1600s. And 16. There's 1600s.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
But yeah, she was like obsessed with William Shakespeare as well. Like she loved his work to the point where she has, I believe it was in either her room, was it, or the ballroom?
I want to say it was one of the ballrooms because
Yeah.
it was a large room.
Yeah, I think it was the ballroom had 2 stained windows, and on the windows glass were Shakespeare quotes. One of them was wide unclasp the tables of their thoughts, and the other says these same thoughts people this little world. What that means, no one knows. No one knows why she selected those quotes, what they mean to her. That was something that she took to the grave.
That seems like a running trend here.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
She took a lot to the grave, this selfish woman.
Or like she took nothing to the grave and was just like, ha, idiots.
But I mentioned it. I mentioned it before. Not only like numerology or symbology, but she was like super into, or like super paranoid about, spiritualism stuff. Again, she thought cameras could, steal your soul, so she didn't want people taking her picture. She had like those routines, I guess, to go with like the supernatural stuff, where she'd ring the bell at 2 a.m. She would talk to her husband, quote unquote. I believe she would do that at a certain time of the day as well. Like she had these routines. Everything builds up to something. Like there's a lot of symbolism in this home that not a lot of people know what it means. The only person that would have been Sarah Winchester. So it's absolutely fascinating. A lot of it, I do feel like, so people are like, oh, the numerology is a big thing. First off, numerology is just a pure coincidental thing unless you do it on purpose. You know what I mean? Like how there's those people that are like, oh, there's 12 puppets or Muppets in the Muppets Christmas Carol. Muppets Christmas Carol has 48 letters. 48 divided by 12 is this, and that's the number of planes that crashed into the Twin Towers. I feel
Why
like
do we always end up back at 9/11?
I feel like a lot of people just look way too into some numerology shit, and it's just purely coincidental. Unless, again, you create it yourself. Like, she obviously went out of her way to put the number 13 into a bunch of things. That's not a coincidence. She just did that on purpose.
So what you're saying is things are either intentional or they're not.
Yeah, they're intentional or coincidental in my brain.
So everything that's ever happened.
Well, like,
Everything
it's like,
stuff.
there's no, in my opinion, there's no such thing as like an accidental, like remember back in the fucking day when you could type in like it's not real, but people were doing that thing where they like type in like the plane number of one of the planes that crashed in 9/11, and they put in like Wingdings format, and you get like the Star of David with like a skull, and like you get like 2 bars or something like that to represent 9/11. And it's like, no, that was all made up because they did that on purpose. They faked it. That wasn't the actual plane number. They faked
I
that.
had never heard that.
Yeah, that was a thing. You put it into Wingdings, all that dumb shit.
Either.
Oh, wow, that was a big thing back in my day.
Fucking the Wingding prophecy, bro.
Yeah, the Wingding prophecy.
The Illuminati, they're up in your fonts.
But yeah, again, they did that on purpose. It's not like that was a coincidental thing that just happened. They did that on purpose. If it's not done on purpose, it's just purely coincidental. You know, but it's still fascinating that the number 13 is what she chose for some reason and no one knows.
It was either on purpose or not on purpose.
I love how Doug's really hammering this
I fucking hate you. They either did it or they didn't. It can't get any more black and white than that.
It either happened or it didn't. All right, bro. Fucking deal with it.
That's a good conclusion.
I guess I just try to like look way into it, but I guess you can use that same defense for quite literally everything. Hey, did you kill a guy? You either
that's
did
what
or
Doug
you
and I have
didn't.
been both trying to say for
It took me like 5 minutes to say what Doug did in 2 words. I'm over here. No, there's a whole philosophical thing to it. There's wingdings and all this stuff. And Doug's like, it do be or it don't be.
the way that it is.
That's good. That got me. That got me good.
It be what it do, you.
You're like trying so hard to make this sound like way more intense than it is because you're like,
it's just either they did it or they didn't.
either it is or it's not.
Where the fuck are we now? Sarah's death. Go on about that. I'm done here.
She's her death. She was alive, and then she was not.
Yes, I love simple.
Yes.
Winchester Mystery House podcast TLDR. It was a house until it wasn't.
It was. She was alive, and then she was not. You know what else happened after she was not alive, though? Well, actually,
9/11.
9/11 could be traced back to Sarah Winchester.
Yeah, who also invented Wingdings.
If she didn't stop building, that wouldn't have
True.
happened.
Wingdings, I'm surprised, isn't the name of like a Buffalo Wild Wings competitor or something.
The Wingding Mystery
Buffalo
House.
Wing.
Yeah, the Wingdings conspiracy.
Is there a Wingdings ARG?
Maybe.
Oh, we gotta look into
There
that.
should be, if there's not already.
I'm literally Googling it right now. Wingdings ARG.
Fuck.
Did you mean Wingdings art? No.
You dickhead. Nah.
I can't
I
believe
love
you guys
that
didn't know
there's-
about this though. Wingdings 9/11. Like I can look that up right now, and it's like the most common fucking thing.
Welcome to Don't Look
most
Under the
common
Internet. We're
fucking
doing Wingdings tonight. Oh god.
Yeah, oh yeah, because it was flight Q33NY, and if you put it in Wingdings, you get a plane, 2 towers, a skull, and the Star of David. But you don't because it was not flight Q33NY. That was all made up. It's fake.
So it wasn't intentional.
No, it was intentional. They did it on purpose to do the 9/11 bit in Wingdings.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah. So we're just go to dead.
Anyway.
Yeah, she's a dead woman. Talk about it.
Anyhow, in her later life, she was plagued by arthritis.
Same.
So, like, as she got older, she.
We didn't.
As she got older, it got really hard for her to move around, which is why she built the stairs and the elevators that I was talking about earlier.
Did she invest in
And-
an acorn stair lift first? I'm trying to remember the same joke that you did in that one episode, where it's like, "Oh, you really had a thing for moms," and you're just like, "Same" or something. I'm trying to remember what the context of that was, but it broke me.
Could not tell you.
It's on Instagram. It's one of our reels. I'm gonna have to look it up again.
Oh shit. Okay.
I had no idea what you're talking about, but I'll have to go watch that later.
Did she install one of those chair lifts?
That's what I just said. The
Yeah,
acorn
that-
stair lift.
Okay, so that's what.
Joke
That,
Mike just made.
no, I'm. I wasn't
What's up,
sure.
sweetie.
I had a thought about fucking Earthworm Jim 2. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Where you have to literally ride one of those things up the stairs and like avoid the falling shit. It's like falling grandmas. All right, fuck me then.
Yep, nope, I don't get that one. That's all you.
Oh shit. Sorry, I'll continue here. I will here in a second if I can stop laughing. Anyhow, arthritis, difficult. Her get round, not good, easy. It got to the point where she had to garden inside because she couldn't get around a lot. Anyway, after that happened, she went to bed in 1922 on some night, and then at some time in the morning the next day after that happened,
Didn't.
she not alive no more. She died of heart failure in her sleep, and a servant found her in her bed peacefully ever after. And after that, her fucking niece was a douchebag, because all of her personal belongings were left to her niece, Marion Merritt, and she auctioned off everything. We were talking earlier about how the house is like not only super huge but also incredibly lavish, and it's estimated that she spent over the course of those 38 years about $5.5 million on the house, and it apparently sold at auction for about $135,000.
Oh.
Yeah, what a loss.
So, yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much the end of it. Like, there's not a whole lot. It feels so strange that, like, her life was so weird.
Right.
And, like, she did all this stuff, and then
kind of just doesn't amount to shit.
Yeah. She just dies, and her niece is just like, well, fuck this stuff, and then just walks away from it. And that's just kind of the end of it, which is it's sad, really.
So
But-
I didn't want to bring this up earlier because I wasn't sure if you were going to mention it, but did you have anything about the safe that they found?
I was gonna.
No,
mention
I
that.
didn't. I didn't find that.
Oh, okay.
You go for it. I don't care.
No, it doesn't really matter. But so one of the things that I thought was kind of just like a fun thing that happened that kind of like baffled people was, so after all the belongings were sold, they found a safe in the house. And once they cracked that safe, there was another safe inside of it.
It's a fucking Russian doll of safes.
And yeah, and then literally they cracked that safe, and there was another safe inside of that. I think there was only 3 or 4 safes, but either way, once they got inside of the like final safe, all that was there was a lock of her kid's hair and the death certificate of her husband.
Obituary.
Obituary, yeah,
The
the obituary, yeah. And that was it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just one person who worked on her team, and that she like had no faith in them, and so they were like,
Just
"What do you want me to
safes.
do today, boss?" And she's just like, "Get another bigger safe to put the safe in."
It's
And the next day,
It's the equivalent of in. I mean, this is kind of a niche reference, but in Parks and Recreation, when Chris Traeger's trying to like learn from Ron about stuff, and Ron's like, I sent him on a task to just make stairs, and then make stairs for no reason, and then he ends up like making the stairs and like combining them. He's like, Ron, I finally figured out what that task was. You have me make a shoe stand, and he's like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted you to do.
Oh God.
I do think like everyone's like, oh, that's weird. Like everyone expected treasure. Like everyone was real surprised as he just found a lock of hair in the obituary. It's like I'm not. Those were 2 people that were very important in her life. Like those are her treasures. She was not like she spent all of her money on like building the house. Like I don't think she was a big like possessions person. I don't think she like owned
like
a bunch of possessions. I don't think she was materialistic. She had a bunch of like rich people stuff in her house, but I don't think like if there was a fire, I don't think she's the type to run for like her laptop or something. You know, she would have ran for like the personal items, like for Lori, for example. She's got this blanket that she's had since she was literally a baby, that she slept with as a baby. Like if there's a fire, I'm not going for the TV. I'm not going for, my laptops. I'm not going for any any of my shit. I'm going for that blanket because that's sentimental. I feel like that's how she is. She's just a sentimental person. I get it. Everyone's like, every little thing that I watched on the Winchester House, and I watched a lot of shit on YouTube after the William Shatner thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like dumbfounded on why there's just an obituary and a lock of hair in the safe. I get
because it makes the mystery stronger.
I don't think it does.
Like,
she's just those were her prized possessions.
Yeah, but nobody gives a shit if she's a sentimental woman. They want there to be fucking treasure in the house because that makes for good story.
But that
you know what I'm
is the
saying?
treasure to her.
But
it definitely seemed like she was more about the process and experimentation and stuff than she was about actually having the stuff.
So, you're absolutely right, and I think that actually has a lot to do with what Mike was just talking about. But I do have something that I'll bring up at the end that I read. But I did want to say you can go and visit the house right now. You can take tours. You can do all this fun stuff.
Hasn't it been open to tours since I want to say since the guy bought it in the 20s? Right?
No.
He bought it.
So it was literally closed to the public for maybe I want to say 100 years after her death, but I feel like that's too long. It was closed for a long time, and then more recently, I want to say maybe 2000s it opened to the public kind of thing.
I guess I just misinterpreted that from one of the videos I watched, because one of the videos I watched made it sound like the guy that bought it for $125,000. They made it sound like he bought it to open it up as a tourist site.
I'm
probably wrong on that, which it would make sense. Why would you just? But I think it makes sense that he did. I don't know where I've heard that from.
I think there was
why
a
would
lot
you buy
of
the house if not to open it
refurbishment
up?
and process that happened before they opened it to the public.
Yeah.
But
He probably
regardless
just
of
bought it because he was like, man, this is dirt fucking cheap.
right,
165-acre house?
sign me up. Fuck all them ghosts.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
But if you ever go out there, you can literally see 110 of the rooms.
June 30th, 1923, the doors opened to over 12 million guests.
Oh, it was the 23?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
The 23s. Wow.
The 23s. The roaring 23s.
There are 23 of them.
The roaring 23s. But yeah, they 110 of the 160 rooms are open to viewers, and you can walk her crazy Victorian gardens that she put in. The house is still there, and it's gonna be for a long fucking time. So, use code DLUTI to sign up for. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, go check it out. I think it's something that I've never been to California, but I think I would really like to go for sure.
I think it would be hella interesting if they kept building onto it.
Just see how big they can make this.
Yeah, and that would have been kind of something that she would have wanted anyway.
That would have been a way cooler way for her to go out, is pass the torch on to somebody else who's just I'm going to keep building.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
California's going to be this fucking house at some point.
The entire state of California is a house.
If only she had someone that, survived her.
Yeah, the Winchester family did just die right there. Well, at least the main family. Sam and Dean are okay. Do you want me to get into some of the house in the popular culture kind of stuff?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, so the Winchester house has surprisingly not been in as much popular culture as I would have thought it would be. They made a movie, I want to say back in 2013, called Winchester, and Helen Mirren played Sarah Winchester. It is very loosely based on the story. It's not like a fucking documentary or anything like that. It's a horror movie, but they emphasized on the ghosts a lot. But Helen Mirren isn't even the main character. It's not about Sarah Winchester. It's about a person that works at the house, and they're having ghostly, issues. We mentioned the ghost, ghost hunters go there and everything. Zach Bagans went there. A bunch of ghost hunting crews have gone. David Copperfield spent a night in the house. I don't know if you saw that or not. Did you see that one?
I did not, actually.
David Copperfield spent a night in the house because he was actually going on this entire tour.
Would have been better if it was David Blaine.
Just dead-eyeing everyone while he's walking through the house.
Chris Angel shows up.
Yeah, just hovers through the home. But David Copperfield apparently went on this big tour of debunking ghost stuff. He was not a believer in ghosts. He thinks it's all trickery. because he's a magician. He spent a night in the house, and nothing happened to him. He's like, yeah, I knew it. This is fake. There was another person. I don't remember who it was, but he was another like debunker guy. He spent a month in the house.
Yep, this is actually what I was going to bring up.
Oh, go ahead. If you want to.
No, go ahead.
I don't remember his name or anything.
I don't either. I was just going to briefly touch on it. You're going way more in depth.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Man who spent
I'm gonna look it up.
month in Winchester House. Bada bing, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. I can't pull it up, but that's okay.
Probably like Gary
Carl Carlson.
He'll suck your nipples.
Yeah, but another this guy spent a month in the house, and he's like, yeah, nothing happened. It's just a house.
I think Houdini went there too.
Yeah, Houdini did go in there.
It was Houdini, not David Copperfield. It was Houdini. Sorry.
Well, Houdini went on like a literal like
tour. That's
like spiritual thing.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It wasn't Copperfield. It was Houdini. I fucked that up.
Houdini's just a man of chaos, and it's
love
literally because he's just Nyarlathotep in fucking disguise. But that's a different story.
But yeah, Houdini did not Copperfield. I take it back. I was wrong. Thank you for correcting me, Matt. Otherwise, we would have had all that misinformation out there. There's also a comic book / graphic novel.
I saw that. Yeah,
House of Penance.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic. Never heard of it.
It looks really good.
I just put it on my in my Goodreads. I just put it in my list of things to read after Shiver.
Okay.
Because it looks fucking great. And I'm all about the fucking horror graphic comics or graphic novels right now. So I'm definitely going to get in on that. But apparently it's very well done. I forget what it's about, but it's more of like the paranoia aspect of the house. But
I'm so glad you're reading Shiver.
Dude, it's good so far. I enjoy it. I thoroughly do.
I bought Mike some Junji Ito for his birthday, and
how sweet.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He bought me Junji Ito.
Junji Ito.
Gotta say,
no, not the Asian accents again.
Junji. I shouldn't do it. Actually,
I already regret it.
But I gotta say, I'm love hating it so far because it's definitely like he's like slow build. I guess you could kind of say.
Yeah, he definitely slow builds because all of his horror is about like every normal day shit.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a ghost killing everyone. Like it's like, oh, what would happen if like all of a sudden you found this thing and now your body's full of holes?
Yeah,
and you're like, oh god. Okay.
It reminds me of we're a little off topic, but I posted it in the Facebook chat a long time ago, and I put it on Twitter too. There's a webcomic that I don't know if it was made by Junji Ito or based off of his work, but it's a webcomic that you can find, and you can like you're reading it and then you scroll, and when it gets to the horror bits, they animated the panel.
Oh.
And it's the most terrifying thing because the entire thing is just a comic. And then once it gets to the horror, like it's a bit where like this woman like walks down like her husband or something like that. And you just see it's the back of his head. And then you scroll down and it shows the back of the head twist. And it's like a like zombified face. And you hear like the of his like his neck, and it is fucking terrifying because it moves and it makes the sounds to your scroll wheel. So if you go back up, it reverses it. It's fucking terrifying, dude. It's fucking terrifying. I'm gonna see if I can find this and put it in the fucking Discord chat. I shit you not. I saw it once as a kid. That happened. I exited out of the tabs. I have not come across anything more terrifying in my life.
I want.
It's that. It's fucking that thing. This. Yeah.
Oh.
It's that thing that they just put in the chat.
Gonna have to check that out.
That's to this day the most terrifying thing to ever happen to me.
Okay.
Junji Ito's the guy with the human-shaped hole in the wall.
Yeah.
I
will recommend if like you want to just get like dipped into Junji Ito and kind of just see what he's about.
Shiver,
like,
I would say, is a good
so he does a lot of books that are like short stories.
He's the Stephen King of the Land of the Rising Sun.
Yeah, I mean, really. But I will recommend everyone go ahead and just like read Uzumaki.
Yeah,
one of the best ones I've ever read. Like it got me into.
Uzumaki in? I think it's in Shiver. I think that's
Uzumaki's like a thick boy.
Never mind. There's one of
because it's a whole story. Like it's a whole ass one.
One of the stories you mentioned to me is like the final story in Shiver. I don't remember which one. I'll have to look. But you've
The
mentioned it to
balloon
me
head
before.
one?
Maybe. It's one that you've talked to me about before. I just don't remember it.
One of my favorite is, I don't want to give too much away, but basically it starts off with a person trapped in a room, and the reason they're in the room and not leaving is because all these like big floating heads of people come down and start basically
Harassing
hanging
him?
everyone. It's fucking crazy.
Oh,
Super crazy.
Did they, in the Discord, I'm sorry, is that just a still image or did they link to the comic?
it's just a
Yes, Uzumaki.
See if
it's
you
a
can,
thick boy.
if one of you guys can link to that comic of that image,
Bong Chidong Ghost.
that's it.
That's what they said. They didn't link it, but that's what they said.
If you guys can find the
I'll
link
look
and
that
throw
up,
it in there,
'cause
I
it
would
sounds-
appreciate that. Because I'm going to put that on
sounds
the Twitter
awesome
too.
and horrifying at the same time.
I will not watch. I will not watch that again. It terrifies me. Anyway, but back to the Winchester House.
Well, I mean, no.
Yeah, now we're done.
We're done with that. We
pretty
got off
much are,
topic.
though. Honestly, we pretty much are though. All we have left is kind of like closing stories.
I actually ended up kind of talking about some of mine already. So
Yeah.
if anybody has some, by all
I
means.
really don't. No. My big thing was just how we mentioned before that, like, yeah, people have all these sightings about ghosts, but when people actually go there to like investigate it, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing that happened.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking house.
Yep.
But
I think you got to be a little. I think you got to be a little crazy yourself to
Mm-hmm.
have the house make you feel a little bit paranoid.
I would be interested to see because they're like, oh, we're still discovering like rooms as we go. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we have like a
You're wrong.
technology? Okay, don't we have like a technology where we can like
Fuck you,
shoot
Mike.
like a sound wave through a wall and it would tell you if it's like a hollow wall or not?
Sonar.
Probably.
I guess, yeah, like a sonar thing.
Yeah,
like,
there's probably some way you can like map the house.
yeah. Why don't they try mapping the dang house then?
I don't know. I was thinking
Because
about that,
that
too.
that deletes the mystery.
Yeah, you're not
Like
wrong.
Doug was
Keep it
saying.
up to imagination.
Feed us, delete us.
I think I think there's a rumor too that not only did she build out, but she built under.
Ooh.
So there's a rumor that there's a bunch of underground shit going on too.
Tunnel boy.
Yeah, but that hasn't been confirmed and no one's looked into it because I do think they just want to keep that mystery afloat.
And I think the biggest reason that nobody has so there's no blueprints, obviously, right?
Mhm.
I think one of the biggest reasons that they don't have blueprints or haven't done any of that kind of shit is because the owners, like the current owners, won't let them.
Yeah,
Like they want to discover it as more of like an exploration thing,
Mhm.
as instead of being like,
they want to
here's
basically
my big computer, beep 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 beep.
They wanna
okay, I
That's
Probably
found
what
the
she
rooms.
would want.
they want to
Dude.
splunk this house.
They want to spelunk it.
They want to spelunk it.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna
Splunk.
the spelunk
I'm gonna
the splussy.
splunk the Winchester.
Oh no.
And
Yeah,
Splussy in the needle shower.
that's the Winchester Mystery House though.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to say
yeah.
was that there's a gift shop, and that rubs me the wrong way.
that does
Something
yeah.
about that rubs
It
me
makes
the
it
wrong way. I don't know.
kind of corporate-y or like too touristy, you know what I mean? It's like Zach Bagans'
Yeah.
museum,
That-
like when you go through all the creepiness and then you walk into a doorway and it's just like, would you like some
Here's your free
postcards?
T-shirt
Yeah.
now.
Do you want some postcards? Here's some rock candy. It's like I don't want this.
Yeah,
Here's your-
it just feels gross.
Here's your shot glass.
I feel like
Yeah.
if she was still around and they were like, we're putting a gift shop here, she'd be like, go fuck yourself.
That's why she'd be sighing.
The gift shop's to the left.
Gift shop.
Yeah, but I do think they should like. Is it still privately owned or is it? Because I know it's a historic building now. I don't know if it's still privately owned or if the government owns it now. But
I forgot the fucking the two people that like. So there are owners. It's like the Winchester something company now, but like there's like two night guard this like family that does like the night shift there essentially. But they're a part of it too. I cannot remember their names. I didn't write it down, but yeah, it's basically a company run thing now, unfortunately.
I'm just gonna, if anyone that is in control of the Winchester House, if you're a fan of DLUTI, hey, what's up? Give me a
Hey, what's
gun. But also, keep adding on. It's what Sarah Winchester would want. Keep adding on as much as you can. Build another floor, even. I don't care. Do what you want, but add on to that house. I feel like they should add. Can we get a hashtag build the Winchester House going on Twitter? Can we get that going somehow? Build on the Winchester House.
I wonder what's around it now. Like, what would you be building into?
Yeah, like a Target. And like a fucking Cold
probably.
Stone Creamery or some shit. Who knows?
Just knock the wall of that Walmart down. It's fine. Fuck it.
We built into the Walmart's break room. I guess if we have nothing else to really go over, I will go over it saying linktree.com/DLUTIPod. You can go to DLUTI, what is it? Moot, DLUTI.com and DLUTIPod.com.
DLUTIPod.com or DLUTI.com.
Yeah, you can go on that. That links to our link tree as well. Our link tree has literally the links to everything important. Our patreon.com/DLUTIPod. Go to buymeacoffee.com/DLUTIPod. But let's be real, you'll buy us booze. You can pick up some merch. We've been going over this like forever. It's been like 3 months in the making, but we are eventually switching over that.
We're in the testing phase right now.
We're testing the quality of another site, so we're gonna go from there.
I'm currently wearing out my washing machine for you people.
His water bill's never been so high.
We're in a drought moot.
Also, to those of you who won our DLUTI flag,
yeah, we're getting the flag. It's ordered.
We will get that to you at some point.
Yeah,
just bear with us.
It's been bad because
a couple months have been fucked.
Yeah, but don't worry. And it was
we haven't ordered it. Mike's lying to you.
Whatever. It was.
We don't even like you.
It was friend of the show, Zach's wife, Alexandra. I believe her name is. She won it. But you will get that flag.
No, you won't.
We will order it for you. Just give us some time. We apologize it's taking so long.
Mike's
the
lying.
gears at DLUTI, there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy at the DLUTI stand.
There's lots of departments we have to go through.
Yes, I have to get it approved.
We didn't pass the health inspection.
But yeah, you can reach us literally everywhere at DLUTIPod on all socials. Don't look on the internet on Facebook. On YouTube and Facebook. Also, quick update: the fucking Minerva Alliance people have gotten in contact with us, and the "This Room Does Not Exist" people.
Yeah, they've just been reaching out to us.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, hey, love the fucking show. And they give us like updates on what's going on with their shows and everything too, which is fucking bananas.
This is actually a great time. For all of you listening, if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, I know we don't typically that's not like our main source of like putting the podcast out, but we do put it out there. If you guys can subscribe to us on YouTube, that would be so amazing, actually.
Yeah, and we are
smack that like button.
Ring that bell. Smash that like button.
Yeah, seriously.
And we are, I know again we've mentioned in the past, but we are slowly introducing video content to the YouTube. So the YouTube is going to be where you're getting a little bit extra stuff as well. Not only that, but you're going to see most of the people that we cover are YouTube channels. A lot of them have been, commenting on our shit. If you want to see fucking Alex Kister or Aiden again, for example, any of these YouTube people or even Twitter icons or something
Turkey Lennon the
Turkey
Third
Lennon get in contact with us. They reach out to us on YouTube. They comment on our shit on YouTube a lot. It's fucking nuts.
We have 400 subscribers. We hit a couple 50, 60 views on our videos. That's totally cool. But if you want to see these random comments from the creators of these things, they're on our YouTube.
It's wild,
and it's a good place
so
to
awesome.
discuss shit.
Yeah, it really is.
You can't comment on the Spotify thing. So if you want to talk to other DLUTI cult people,
let people know that aren't in the cult either. Let them know why they should be.
Speaking of Spotify, keep leaving us those 5-star reviews though. We're at 281 as of today. Once we hit 300, we have a special guest taking over the Twitter. So let's get us to 300. We'll get that special guest on that Twitter, and then you all can just unsubscribe. It's fine.
Spoiler, it's Mike's mom.
It's my mother. No. God, my mom doesn't even know what Twitter is, I don't think.
Tell her hit me up. I'll tell her about it.
No.
That would make it better, almost.
We also have on
casserole
Twitter,
recipes.
We're being followed on Twitter by fucking Jeffrey Cavall, who created the Everyman Hybrid, which is a pretty solid co-creator of the Everyman Hybrid, which is a solid ARG/analog as well, I guess you could say. But yeah, dude, it's nuts how these people. I'm flabbergasted at the amount of the people that we cover kind of reach out to us in some way. It's baffling to me that happens. It's so awesome. It's so fucking cool, and it's because of you listeners. You get it out there so these people can see it. That's just what it is. The fact that you guys listen, we get to their suggested.
Yeah.
Because of you guys. So thank you. Keep it up.
Every once in a while, I go into the fucking incognito tab and start searching us in YouTube and stuff like that to see what unbiasedly where we're at and stuff, and it's crazy.
It's crazy. And we
a lot of topics we're in the top 10 videos now, and it's kind of weird.
And we got a bunch of stuff that we're like, no spoilers at all, but again, we've been having full on like interviews and conversations with like Aiden from The Sun Vanished. Like, it's wild where we've gotten. You know what I mean? I got in contact with fucking Turkey Lennon to try to get him on the show. He's busy with school stuff, and that's okay, Turkey. Respect. Get your education on, man. That's more important than us losers. But
More like Ham Lennon.
but we may even get Turkey Lennon on the show at some point in the future. The fucking CHSS creator. Like, he's basically like the father of analog horror. That's fucking crazy. We're getting all this shit going, and it's because of you guys. So thank you, everyone. You're the best. That's all I got to say is thank you kindly. Moot, do you got anything you want to say to the people, the beautiful people? Badoo-doo?
I want to say hi. I hope everything is going okay in your life. And if it's not going okay in your life, then one day here soon, at some point in the future, it'll get better. So continue existing. And
Or don't.
Well, no.
Wait, what?
I don't recommend doing that, but
You know what? Two things
Yeah.
that we haven't said in a while.
Yeah.
what's that?
First and foremost, fuck Corbin, Kentucky.
Yep.
Got that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Mike, I think you know where I'm going to go with this.
I do?
You do.
Okay.
K the P.
No!
Kill John Lennon.
My house is going to get swatted because of you, I'm sure of it.
Hey, at least I said.
What am I?
At least I didn't say kill the president.
Stop! Whoever's editing this, bleep that out. We don't need to be on a list.
It's me.
Oh, also.
Future Doug, edit this out. If you want to get in contact with the show and leave a voicemail, we'll play it on the show.
Yeah.
And text us too. That's super cool. 630-909-9366.
And leave a voicemail.
I
with
can't even reach the
your
button, so.
630-909-9366. 630-909-9366. Yes. The rules of three are back, baby. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Go find, like, if you live like close to like a playground and you see like a dad out there with their kids, go up to that dad, grab his grundle, kiss him right in front of his kid, and be like, "This is my daddy now."
Yeah, really flip the expectations.
Yeah.
So
Now kids are going to be worried about their dads.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
be the change you want to see in the world.
be the change you want to see in the world. I'm gonna work off of that a little bit, but I want you to go to a playground, right? And instead of slapping your beans and peons, because that seems inappropriate on a playground, I want you to find the nearest dad, similar to what Mike was talking about. But I want you to throw that man by his penis. I want you to just yank that dick and just toss that man as far as you can.
But before you do that, grab his teeth for me.
Yeah.
I need his tooth.
I want you to be someone's dad, whether they want you to or not. Just
Be the
show
dad
up at
that
their house.
they don't need.
forcefully become a father.
Yeah. Just show up at somebody's house and just start telling them to clean their room.
It's me. It's me, your father.
Hey, Dad.
I'm your dad.
I'm your dad.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a blessed day.
We love
I
you.
feel like this outro has been longer than the fucking podcast.
It always is. May Jesus Christ
Compel you.
compel you. Goodbye.
All right, peace.
Hey guys, my name is Amanda, and I just got done listening to the Part 1 Miranda episode, and you all want to know about the Tower. The Tower is a tarot card as part of the Higher Arcana, and let me go ahead and give you the meanings and the reason why people may be freaking out. Upright, because the card can be read upright or reversed, upside down. Upright, it means chaos, destruction, sudden upheaval, trauma, unexpected change, disaster, loss, tragedy, revelations, confusion, pain, divorce, abuse, violence, bankruptcy, natural disasters. Reversed, it means resisting change, averting disaster, avoiding tragedy, delaying the inevitable. It is a card of major destructive change, sudden change, extremely violent change. Most people consider this a really super bad card. I've never considered any card super bad. I just think this card is a nice little warning for things are going to get hectic quick. Just to let you know, I do read tarot. But I wanted to go ahead and let you know what the Tower meant and why people may be freaking out. Catch you later. Oh, and I love the pod.
Don't look under the internet.